I live alone in a small one-bedroom apartment. Nothing fancy, just a quiet building with thin walls, creaky floors, and a view of the alley behind a grocery store. I work nights at a local diner, so I usually get home around 3 a.m. Most nights, I shower, eat, and fall asleep to music playing on my Bluetooth speaker. This happened last winter. It was one of those cold, wet nights where everything outside looked gray and frozen. I got home at 3:15 a.m., kicked off my boots, turned on the heater, and connected my phone to my Bluetooth speaker. It played a lo-fi playlist while I heated up some leftover chili. The sound filled the apartment, soft and relaxing. I left my phone charging in the bedroom and sat down on the couch with my bowl. Maybe 10 minutes later, the music stopped. I didn't think much of it at first. Bluetooth sometimes cuts out when it disconnects. But then, instead of silence, I heard static, like the kind you hear on an old TV with no signal. I looked over at the speaker sitting on the shelf. The blue light was still on, which meant it was still connected to something. I grabbed my phone from the bedroom. It was connected to the speaker like normal, and my playlist was still going. But the sound coming from the speaker wasn't music anymore. It was a voice. A slow, raspy whisper. At first, I couldn't understand what it was saying. I turned up the volume just a little, and the voice became clearer. It was repeating something, again and again, like a chant. I see you. I see you. I see you. It was a man's voice. Low, dry, and cold. I paused the music on my phone. The voice kept going. That's when I realized my speaker was no longer playing audio from my phone. I unplugged the speaker and turned it off. Complete silence. I sat there, frozen. The only sound was the hum of the heater behind me. After a minute, I convinced myself it had to be interference or someone else nearby connected by mistake. My speaker didn't have a passcode. I'd never thought to set one. Feeling stupid, I went to bed. But that wasn't the end. The next night I came home, tired again. I figured it was just a weird fluke, so I connected my speaker like usual. This time, I set it to play a podcast. About 20 minutes in, the sound glitched. It skipped like a scratched CD, then cut off completely. And once again, that same static came through, followed by that same voice. Why'd you turn me off? I stared at the speaker. It sat completely still, the blue light glowing. I didn't move. The voice spoke again. You're not alone tonight. Look behind you. I dropped my phone. I felt the hair on my arms stand up. My heart started pounding. I didn't look behind me. I just ran into my bedroom, slammed the door, and locked it. I stayed up the rest of the night with a knife in my hand and the bedroom light on. The next morning, I called my brother and asked him to come over. He checked the place. No one was there. No signs of forced entry. Everything seemed fine. He said I probably just picked up interference from someone's weird prank device. But I knew something was wrong. I could feel it. I got rid of the speaker that day. Threw it in the dumpster behind my building and bought a new one, this time with a password. I even reset my phone's Bluetooth settings. Weeks passed. Nothing happened. I started to feel okay again. Then, 2 nights ago, the reason I'm telling. This now, I was in bed scrolling through my phone. I had my new speaker playing quiet jazz in the background. Suddenly, the song cut off. Static. I stared at the speaker, my throat going dry. Then I heard it. That same voice. You can change the speaker, but I still hear you. You still hear me. You always will. I turned the speaker off and threw it across the room. I haven't used Bluetooth since. I listen to music through wired headphones now. And every night I check all the windows and doors, twice. I don't know how this thing is connecting to my devices. I don't know what it wants, but it knows me. And it's still out there, somewhere, listening. I work in a pretty tall office building downtown. It's nothing special. Glass walls, fluorescent lights, a lobby with fake plants, and elevators that always seem to take forever. I usually take the elevator alone late at night because I work late shifts sometimes. It's quiet, and I prefer that to the stairs. One night after finishing a late meeting, I got in the elevator alone. The building was nearly empty, just me and a few cleaning crews roaming the floors. I pressed the button for the 12th floor and leaned against the wall, scrolling on my phone. I had my Bluetooth earbuds in, playing a podcast. The elevator started to rise with that familiar mechanical hum. About halfway up, I heard a faint whisper in my left ear. I froze. The whisper sounded like a man's voice, soft and low. It wasn't part of the podcast. I pulled out my earbuds and looked around. No one else was in the elevator with me. The doors were closed, and the small space was empty. I put the earbuds back in. The whisper came again, clearer this time. "Hey, can you hear me?" I yanked the earbuds out and stared at the small screen. My phone showed I was connected to my Bluetooth earbuds. Nothing else was connected. I started to feel uneasy, but told myself it was just interference or some glitch. The elevator stopped at the 7th floor, and the doors opened for a second. No one got in. Then the doors closed, and the elevator kept going up. Then the whisper came again. "Don't trust the doors." My heart jumped. I looked down at my phone. The Bluetooth connection was flickering. The earbuds showed they were connected to an unknown device called Ghost. I'd never seen that name before. I tried to disconnect, but the earbuds didn't respond. Then the voice came through again, this time from both earbuds. "You can't leave now." The elevator shuddered and slowed down like it was stuck. The lights flickered. My breathing got heavy. I pressed the emergency button. Nothing. The panel didn't light up. The phone signal was weak. I was trapped. The voice whispered again. "We're closer than you think." I looked around the elevator, half expecting to see someone. But I was alone. Suddenly my phone buzzed. A message appeared on the screen. It was from the unknown Bluetooth device, Ghost. The message read, "Look behind you." I slowly turned around. Nothing. Just the cold metal walls, the small mirror, and my own terrified face staring back. I sat down on the floor, clutching my phone, hoping someone would come. Minutes passed. I kept hearing whispers from the earbuds. "You'll never get out. We're watching you." The door finally slid open. I scrambled out, gasping for fresh air. A cleaning lady was just walking by. She looked at me like I was crazy when I told her what happened. I ran down the hallway to the security desk and told them everything. They checked the elevator and said there was no problem. No outages, no malfunctions. The Bluetooth device name Ghost was never found on any network scan. That was weeks ago. Since then, I've stopped using my Bluetooth earbuds in the building altogether. Every time I get in an elevator, I feel like someone's whispering right behind me. The worst part is, the earbuds still show a connection to Ghost, even when I'm not using them. I don't know who or what that is, and honestly, I'm too scared to find out. I've always driven alone, mostly because I like to be by myself when I'm on the road. I don't mind long drives, and my car's Bluetooth system is one of my favorite features. It's convenient. Just connect your phone and your hands free. Perfect for those late night drives home after work. This happened about a month ago. on a rainy Thursday night. I had finished a long shift at the restaurant where I work and was heading home on a mostly empty highway. The rain was light, but steady, tapping softly against the windshield. The hum of the windshield wipers and my favorite playlist filled the car as I cruised along. I was about halfway home when my phone buzzed. Usually I don't answer calls while driving, but my car automatically picked it up through Bluetooth. The screen showed a caller ID that said, "Unknown." The music stopped, and I heard a low voice on the other end. "Hello," it said. I responded cautiously, "Hi, who is this?" Silence. Then, the voice came back, almost a whisper, but clear. "I'm right behind you." I swallowed hard, glancing in the rearview mirror. Nothing. Just the empty highway behind me, wet and glistening under the streetlights. I tried to hang up, but the call wouldn't disconnect. My phone screen showed the call was still active, and the Bluetooth kept routing the voice through the car speakers. The voice whispered again, "Look into your side mirror." I glanced to my left. Still, nothing there. No other cars. I started to feel chills crawl down my spine. Who is this? "Stop messing with me," I said, trying to keep calm, but the voice ignored me. Instead, it whispered, "Turn off the lights." I looked down at my dashboard and hesitated. I didn't want to risk it, but something inside me forced me to switch off the headlights. The car was suddenly swallowed in darkness, except for the faint glow of the dashboard lights. I could barely see the wet road ahead. Then, I heard a soft thud on the roof. My heart jumped into my throat. "What the hell?" I muttered. The voice spoke again. "Look behind you." My eyes darted back to the rearview mirror. Suddenly, I saw a shape, just a shadowy outline, close to the back of my car. It was impossible to tell what it was, but it moved. I slammed the headlights back on. The shape disappeared. I hit the brakes hard, pulling over onto the shoulder. I reached for my phone, trying to end the call, but it wouldn't respond. The voice came again, calm, almost mocking. "You can't get away." I sat there, gripping the steering wheel, my breath shaky. Minutes passed. The rain slowed, and the voice finally stopped. My phone finally disconnected the call. I was shaking so badly I didn't want to move. I called my best friend and told him what happened. He thought I was joking at first, but agreed to come pick me up. When he arrived, I showed him the call history. "Unknown caller," it said. No number, no information. We checked my phone's Bluetooth settings. There was a device connected during the call named Shadow. I had never seen that name before. I deleted it immediately. That night, I slept with the lights on. Since then, I don't use my car's Bluetooth at night anymore. I still get nervous driving alone in the dark, and sometimes, when the rain hits, the roof just right, I swear I hear faint whispers through the speakers, even when my phone isn't connected. I don't know who or what was on the other end of that call, but I'm pretty sure it's still out there, waiting. When I started college, I was excited, but also a little nervous about living in a dorm. I shared a small room with a guy named Mark. He was quiet and kept to himself mostly, so we didn't really talk much. We both had our routines. I liked to listen to music while studying, so I brought my Bluetooth headphones. Mark had a small Bluetooth speaker he used for late-night gaming sessions. One night, I was up late, trying to finish a paper. I had my headphones on and was playing some calming music. Mark's speaker was off since he went to bed early. Suddenly, my music stopped. I pulled off my headphones and looked around. The dorm was quiet except for the hum of the heater. I put my headphones back on, but instead of music, I heard faint voices, whispers. It was hard to make out the words, but it sounded like someone was talking close to my ear. I took the headphones off again and saw the small blue light on Mark's speaker flickering. The speaker was off, but the light said it was connected to something. I glanced at my phone. My headphones were still connected. Nothing else showed up. The whispers came again, louder. "Help me. Please." I froze. My heart pounded and I pulled the headphones off. I whispered, "Mark?" No answer. I got up and walked over to his side of the room. The speaker was sitting on his desk, completely silent now. I looked at the Bluetooth devices list on my phone and saw a new device connected. Unknown 123. I tapped to disconnect, but it wouldn't. Suddenly, my headphones started playing a low hum, like static mixed with breathing. I yanked them off. My hands shook. I grabbed my phone and tried to turn off Bluetooth, but the phone froze. That's when I noticed Mark's door was slightly open. I walked out to check if he was okay. The hallway was empty and silent. I knocked on his door. No answer. I peeked inside. The bed was empty. The window closed. I started to worry. I called Mark's phone. It went straight to voicemail. I texted him. No reply. For the rest of the night, I stayed awake, listening. Sometimes the headphones would pick up soft whispers. Other times, my phone would buzz with random Bluetooth connections to Unknown 23 or Ghost Device. I told the dorm security the next morning. They checked Mark's room. No signs of anything strange. Mark showed up a few days later, acting like nothing happened. He said he had gone home for the weekend and forgot to tell me. But I never told him about the whispers or the strange Bluetooth connections. I still hear things sometimes. When the room is silent, a faint voice through my headphones. Breathing, whispers. But no one is there. And the Bluetooth device, Unknown 23, keeps appearing, even when my phone says no devices are connected. I'm moving out soon. But part of me wonders if whatever was there is still listening, waiting. I've never been super tech savvy, but I do love my gadgets. One thing I use every day is my Bluetooth headphones. I listen to music, podcasts, and sometimes just use them for calls. I like to keep them close, even at night. This happened just last week on a Sunday night. I was at home in my apartment getting ready for bed. The place was quiet except for the soft hum of the heater. I was scrolling on my phone, earbuds in, playing a relaxing playlist. Around midnight, I heard a faint buzzing noise, kind of like the sound a Bluetooth device makes when it connects or disconnects. I took one earbud out and checked my phone, but it showed no new devices connected. Then, I heard it again. But this time, it wasn't the usual beep. It was a low voice, very soft, almost like it was right next to my ear. "Hello?" I froze. My heart started racing. I pulled both earbuds out and looked around. No one was there. I laughed nervously, thinking maybe I was just imagining things. I put the earbuds back in and started my playlist again. But then the voice came back, clearer. "Can you hear me?" I yanked the earbuds out again. The room felt colder all of a sudden. I checked my phone again. The Bluetooth settings were open, and my headphones were connected. But below them, a new device appeared, called Watcher. I tried to disconnect it, but it wouldn't go away. The voice whispered again, "Look outside." I slowly walked to the window and pulled back the curtain. The street was empty. The streetlights flickered, and the wind moved the branches of the trees. Nothing unusual. I turned back to my room, and my phone buzzed. A message popped up from the Watcher device. It said, "I'm closer than you think." I dropped my phone on the bed and backed away. The voice came again in my earbuds, but this time it sounded like it was inside the room, not in my ears. "I'm right behind you." I whipped around. Empty. Just my shadow on the wall. I ran to the door, but it was locked. I live alone, so I locked it earlier. I grabbed my keys and unlocked the door. As soon as I opened it, the voice stopped. My earbuds showed only my device connected now. The Watcher device disappeared. I stepped outside into the hallway, breathing hard. The air smelled like rain, even though it hadn't rained today. I looked down the hall. No one. I called my best friend and told him everything. He told me to come over for the night. I packed my stuff quickly. Before I left, I checked my phone one last time. The Bluetooth device, Watcher, was gone. But when I put on my headphones in my friend's car, the voice came back. See you soon. I still don't know what Watcher was, or how it got into my Bluetooth devices. I've never felt so watched and helpless before, and now, every time my headphones buzz, I'm scared it's starting again.